Nārāyaṇa namaskritya Narāyana chaiva narottamam Devam sarasatim vyāsam Tato jaya mudiraye Nastapaye svabhadreshu Nityam bhagavata sevaya Bhagavati uttama sloka Bhakti bhavati nastiki Vede ramani chaiva purane bharati tata adyan chamhadi cha hari sabata giyate Mokam karati vachalam prangulanga yati kriya kipataham vande Sri Guru Dinatarine Paramanadamadava Yasava Swamanayam Krishne Paramapurushe Bhakti Utupade Pansasoka Moha Bhayapaha Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So this is the continuation of the study of Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th Canto, Chapter 10, text. Today is what's 25 is on the board. Okay. So 23 to 25, but we have text 25 on the board. So this is about Lord Krishna's delivering the twin arjuna trees. It's called yamalārjunau, the twin trees, who has been caused by Narada Muni for a long period of time. And now, in the same spot, in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj, basically in Krishna's court, so they've been there. So now, Narada Muni caused them, they've been there, so Krishna has to deliver them. So this whole chapter is about the deliverance of yamala-arjunau trees. So there are the previous two texts. Maybe I should just... Maybe you read this together first, and then I will come back to the text number 23, then 24, and then text 25. Devarṣi me priyatamo yad imo danadatmajo tat tata sadhayishyami yad gitam tam mahatmana devarṣi me priyatamo Devarṣi, the great saint Narada Muni, may my Priyatamaha, most beloved devotee, yet although these two persons, Nalakūvara and Maṇigrīvā, Dhananda Atmajo, born of a rich father and being non-devotees, that the words of Devarṣi, Tata, just so, Sadayishyami, I shall execute, because he wanted me to come face to face with the yamala-arjunau, I shall do so. Yet Gita has already stated that Mahatmana by Narada Muni. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki. Although these two young men are the sons of the very rich Kuvera, and I have nothing to do with them. Devarṣi Nārada is my very dear and affectionate devotee, and therefore, because he wanted me to come face to face with them, I must do so for their deliverance. Purport. Nalakūvara and Maṇigrīva actually had nothing to do with devotional service or seeing the personality of Godhead face to face. For this is not an ordinary opportunity. It is not that because one is very rich or learned or was born in an aristocratic family, one will be able to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face. This is impossible. But in this case, because Narada Muni desired that Nalakūvara and Maṇigrīva see Vasudeva face to face, the Supreme Personality of Godhead wanted to fulfill the words of his very dear devotee, Narada Muni. If one seeks the favor of a devotee, instead of directly asking favors from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one is very easily successful. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has therefore recommended Vaishnava Thakur Tomara Kuku, Boliya Janare More, Krishna Se Tomara Krishna Dite Paro. One should desire to become like a dog in strictly following a devotee. Krishna is the hand of a devotee. Adulaban Atmabhaktu. Thus, without the favor of a devotee, one cannot directly approach Krishna. What to speak of engaging in his service? Narottam Das Thakur therefore sings Chariya Vaishnava Seva Nishtara Payeche Keba. Unless one becomes a servant of a pure devotee, one cannot be delivered from the material conditions of life. In our Gaudiya Vaishnava society, following in the footsteps of Rupa Goswami, our first business is to seek shelter of a bona fide spiritual master, Ado Guru Ashraya. Gurave Gurachandaya, Radhikaya Tadalaye, Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tabhaktayo Namo Namaha. Agyana Timindasya Gananganan Salakaya Chaksumita Yena Tasma Sri Gurave Namaha. Namamo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhattale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Tinamine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine. Nivisi Satsunyavadi Pashtadishtarine. Vanchakapa Turbyascha Kripa Sindhivacha Patitanam. Pavane Bhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. So there is today's verse supposed to consist of text 23 to 25. So I will go back and read text 23, and then we gradually come to text 25. So Śukadeva Gosvāmī is saying, śrī-śuka uvāca, evam uktvā sa devarṣir, gato nārāyaṇa-āśramam. Nalakūvara and Maṇigrīvāv, āsatur yamalārjunau. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Śukadeva Gosvāmī continued, Having thus spoken, the great saint Devarṣi Nārada returns to his ashram known as Nārāyaṇa-āśramam, and Nalakūvara and Maṇigrīva became twin arjuna trees. Arjuna trees are still found in many forests, and their skin is used by cardiologists to prepare medicine for heart trouble. This means that even though they are trees, they are disturbed when skinned for medical science. I guess these trees, are you familiar with the tree, Prabhu? These arjuna trees? Arjuna trees. I've not seen it before, so I don't know. But Prabhupada say here that the arjuna trees, they are still there in the forest. So they must be very, very essential trees, because it mentioned here that their skin is used for medical purposes. So which means they are. And of course, arjuna trees, they've been there before Maṇigrīva and Nalakūvara were caused, obviously. So Yamala means twin because of their offense of not covering themselves before when Narada Muni was coming, and these two persons who were supposed to be high-grade living entities, high-grade because they are demigods. They were sons of Kuvera, and also they are associates of Lord Shiva, because Kuvera is a very dear devotee of Lord Shiva. And actually, it's because of Kuvera that Lord Shiva came to Mount Kailas and stays there, because of Kuvera. So Lord Shiva, of course, as they say, what's that? The Vaishnavam Nam Yata Sambhu, that Lord Shiva is the greatest, devotee of the Lord. And Lord Shiva, of course, is not an ordinary person. And Lord Shiva's position is so great that, yes, it's not God, it's not the complete absolute God, but it's also not living entity. It's in between. That's why it's called. It's above any kind of living entity. It's above all the demigods. It's called Mahadev. And sometimes, his position is just like, supreme absolute truth, God position. But it's not complete God, because Lord Shiva himself is always meditating on someone. So he's always meditating on Sankarshan, who is Krishna's expansion. So, but these two persons, they're supposed to know, but still they were engaged in these abominable activities of being drunken. They were naked, and they were playing with the young girls, heavenly society girls. But when Narada Muni came by, and so the girls, they saw Narada Muni coming, so they immediately covered themselves because they felt ashamed. But these two persons, Maṇigrīva and Nalakūvara, they remained naked. They were totally oblivious that the great saint Narada Muni had appeared. So Narada Muni see that these two persons, because of their materialistic opulence, they were so drunk. So therefore, he decided to punish them. But that punishment, of course, is actually for their own good. So he decided to punish them, and then he caused them to become trees. Because a naked person, the tree is naked. So therefore, it's better for these two persons to become trees. So Narada Muni caused them, and then he left. Now, this text saying that the Narada Muni, he went to after causing these two persons, that he went to his ashram, But actually, Narada Muni does not have ashram because Narada Muni is always traveling. He does not have a particular ashram. Because long time ago, I think it was Daksha who caused Narada Muni that he would never stay in one place. So Śrīla Sanatana Gosvāmī, he has commented on this particular verse that Narada Muni, he left for ashram, he left for Nārāyaṇa-āśramam. So basically, the Narada Muni mentioned that upon reflecting that his speech to be a big offense, this Narada Muni thinking, because he has caused this, he delivered a curse to these two associates of Lord Shiva. So Narada Muni thinking that maybe he has committed an offense by cursing the devotees, of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is a great personality. So Narada Muni, he went to Narayana's abode, Vaikuntha. He went there to Vaikuntha just to request the Lord for forgiveness that he has caused these two persons. That is one reason that Sanatana Goswami gave. And another reason is that because Narada Muni, he had given a curse to these two persons that they're going to become a tree. But at the same time, he also gave a benediction that after 1,000 celestial years, no, it's 100 celestial years. After 100 celestial years, these two persons, they're going to become a tree for 100 celestial years. Which means if you calculate it, 100, because one day of the demigod, one day of the demigod is our 6 months. And the same night also, so which means if you multiply that times 100, that is like, if you're a mathematician, you can figure it out. So Maṇigrīvā and Nalakūvara, they're going to become that tree for that many years, but they're going to become trees in the courtyard of Maṇigrīva, in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj, so that they'll be able to see the pastimes of Lord Krishna when Lord Krishna comes. So he gave them this benediction that yes, they'll be able to come face to face with the Lord. So Śrīla Sanatana Gosvāmī, he gave another reason that yes, Narada Muni, he went to Nārāyaṇa-āśrama, to Vaikuntha Loka, and to make sure that whatever he has said come true, which means the benediction that he has given to these two persons, these benedictions will come true. In the sense that yes, they will come face to face with the Lord, and by coming face to face with the Lord, they'll be able to attain prem bhakti. They'll be able to attain bhakti unto the Lord. So this is the one. And the yamala-arjunau tree means they were produced together. So another thing is that because they be trees, so they took birth as as arjuna trees. And arjuna trees, now Krishna has a friend in Vrindavan, Arjuna Shaka, and his name is Arjuna, one of Krishna's Kahir friends. His name is Arjuna. So by these two persons taking birth as yamala-arjunau, the twin Arjuna trees, and because Krishna has a friend called Arjuna, so Krishna has seen these Arjuna trees, in the courtyard of his father, so Krishna will ultimately be merciful upon them. Because after all, Krishna will be, Krishna's friend is always there, whose name is Arjuna, and by seeing these Arjuna trees every day, Krishna will eventually be merciful upon them. So which means that we get bhakti unto Krishna by the mercy of a devotee of Krishna. This is what we're going to be reading when we reach text 25, of how everything is obtainable by the mercy of a devotee of Krishna. So after Narada Muni left, so these two persons, they became the three. Āsatur. Āsatur means they became three. Now text 24, which is the next text. Rishe Bhagavate Mokhyasya Satam Khatum Bachu Hari Jagama Sanakais Tatra Yatra Sitam Yamalārjunau. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, to fulfill the truthfulness of the words of the greatest devotee, Narada, slowly went to that spot where the twin arjuna trees were standing. So the Śrī Śukadeva Gosvāmī had said on this text, he said, the term Rishi signifies that his words come true. He is called Bhagavan in the sense that he is similar to Bhagavan, Bhagavata Bhagavatulasya, on account of being the topmost Mahabhagavat. In this way, the highest bhakti is also indicated. Therefore, Satam Khartoum, to make true, the name Hari is used with the intent to express an upliftment. So basically, whatever distress we may have in life, of course our distress is due to materialistic life. That's our distress. So Hari is the one who takes away. Hari means to take away. So when the devotees call upon Hari, Hari comes and takes away whatever distress they have due to the materialistic existence. So when the Lord takes away all the distress, the living entity becomes jubilant and then engages in a pure, unalloyed, loving devotional service unto the Lord. So in order to uplift these two persons, arjuna trees, so Krishna, he decided to go to these two trees. Because Krishna, he had been banned by his mother Yashoda due to being naughty. He had been banned. So after being banned by Mother Yashoda, so Mother Yashoda, she went back inside the house. Now Krishna is alone, but his friends, they're also there. However, looking at these two trees, twin trees, so Krishna decided to, especially to fulfill the word of his devotee, Narada Muni, to fulfill his words, that yes, these two persons will be liberated when by Lord Krishna. So in order to fulfill the words of Narada Muni, so Krishna decided to drag the mortar, the Ganya Uluka, to drag to these two trees. However, when Krishna was doing so, he did not make any noise. He was dragging the mortar very, very silently, very, very silently. Why? Because he know that yes, he has a mission to fulfill the words of his devotee, which in this case, Narada Muni. It's a Bhagavat Mukayashya. Bhagavat means, this is indicating Narada Muni. Because sometimes the pure devotees, the great devotees, they also call Bhagavan. The Lord is in Bhagavan, and his pure devotees, they also call Bhagavan. Why they are called Bhagavan? Because of their great characteristics. See, Narada Muni, his only mission, his nature, his swabhav, is to propagate devotional service unto Lord Krishna. He has no other mission in life. Actually, just like when you read Bhagavatam, every chapter, Narada Muni is there, every chapter. In many, many incarnations that the Lord has taken, Narada Muni is always there. And his mission is to propagate the devotional service unto the Lord. So therefore, when Narada Muni desires something, the Lord fulfills it. The Lord fulfills such desire. So Lord Krishna, seeing these two Arjuna trees, he decided to go and fulfill the words of Narada Muni. So Lord Krishna then he started dragging, silently dragging this granny mother towards the tree, because Krishna is doing it silently because he did not want to attract the attention of the cowherd ladies. He didn't want to attract the attention of Mother Yashoda, because if they heard the noise of the mother being dragged by Krishna, they will all come out, and they will all come out, and then they will start to say, oh, maybe Krishna is getting into some trouble. So Krishna did not want to attract any attention, so he was doing it very, very silently, and then he dragged the mother between the two trees. He was dragging it. So this was what is being said here. So Santa Goswami said, Hari went slowly, Sanakai, suspecting that Yashoda and others will arrive if they heard the sounds of the motor, will make by being pulled quickly. So which means Krishna is not just dragging, he was doing it very, very silently. And of course, another reason may be due to being a baby pastime. So it was a thought like Krishna was crawling when he was dragging this very big motor. So it is understood that it was crawling for the purpose of pulling it by force. So in the second canto also, this was mentioned in the second canto. When, let me see. So in the second canto, it was mentioned, this is 2:7:27. It says, Toke na jivaranam ya ulukikayas traimasikaya kasya chapada sakatu pavita yaringatantara matkatena divispri shova umlanantri tarattajunayo nabavyam. He mentioned, there is no doubt, this is Prabhupada's translation, there is no doubt about Lord Krishna's being the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, how was it possible for him to kill a giant demon like Putana when he was just on the lap of his mother, to overturn a cat with his leg when he was only 3 months old, or to uproot a pair of arjuna trees so high that they touched the sky when he was only crawling? All these activities are impossible for anyone other than the Lord himself. So it's like Prabhupada, he had written in some of the purports to this verse. Let's see. So at the age of only 3 months, Krishna killed Sakatasura, who had remained hidden behind a cart in the house of Yashoda Maya. And when he was crawling and was disturbing his mother from doing household affairs, the mother tied him with a grinding pestle mortar, but the naughty child dragged the pestle up to a pair of very high arjuna trees in the yard of Yashoda Maya. And when the pestle was stuck between the pair of trees, they fell down with horrible sound. So the mentioning to this pastime is stated here in the second canto of how Krishna was little, but he dragged these twin arjuna trees. Now, so when Lord Krishna, when he looked at these trees, when he looked at the trees, after being bound by his mother, then he said, Devarṣi priyatamo yadimo danandatmajao tatata sadayishyami yagitantam mahatmana. So Krishna is saying, Although these two young men are the sons of the very rich Kuvera, and I have nothing to do with them, Devarṣi Nārada is my very dear and affectionate devotee. And therefore, because he wanted me to come face to face with them, I must do so for their deliverance. So basically, Krishna, he said he must fulfill the desire of his pure devotee. In this case, his pure devotee, Narada Muni. So, Śrī Śukadeva Gosvāmī, it said he had rephrased this particular text. Yādasma devarṣi me priyatama tātasmanimau danadot smajau tatasara yishyami yatata tatenam mahatmanam gitam. So Lord Krishna says, because Devarṣi is dearest to me, therefore, just as it was sung by him, who has a great authority, so I will make these two sons of Kuvera successful. So the Lord says, I will elevate them from an immobile species, bestow a place for them, and to make them have the topmost bhakti. So this is because the Lord said that Narada Muni is very, 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 very dear to me. Priyatamo. He is the dearest devotee of the Lord. Narada Muni is so dear that we cannot even begin to estimate. Even so dear that sometimes he can even take Krishna away, Like there was a pastime in Dwarka when there was a time when Satyabhama, he had asked Narada Muni that to show her a secret by which she can become Krishna's most favorite queen. She had asked Narada Muni this way. So Narada Muni said, okay, I will show you how you can become Krishna's most favorite queen, but it's not free. You have to pay for it. It's not free. So Satyabhama said, yes, whatever you want, I will give. So Narada Muni showed Satyabhama what to do, what mantras to chant, all these things, on how she can become Krishna's most favorite queen. So she did as she was told. She did everything, and she became Krishna's most favorite queen. So much so that Krishna had to go to the heavenly planet to fight with the demigods just to get the Parijata tree to satisfy Satyabhama. So she became Krishna's most favorite queen because of Narada Muni. So now Narada Muni came back. He said, now that you have achieved your goal, now I want my payment. I want my payment. So Satyabhama said, well, whatever you want, I'll give you. So then Narada Muni said, okay, you give me, I want you to give me whatever is most dear to you. Give me what is most dear to you. So Satyabhama said, well, what is dear to me? The only thing that is dear to me is Krishna. There's nothing else dear to me. Only Krishna is most dear to me. So Narada Muni then said, okay, then I want to take Krishna away then, if Krishna is most dear to you. So Satyabhama, she's perplexed. So Narada Muni, she begins to take away Krishna. And Krishna was following him. Because that was the payment of what the payment of Satyabhama, what he has requested. So, and of course, if Krishna leave, then what's going to happen to all the other queens? There are 16,008 wives of Krishna in Dwarka. So how's Narada Muni going to take away Krishna? This is their life. If there's no Krishna, their life is gone. So all the queens, they are started beating Satyabhama that, how can you do that? How can you let Narada Muni start taking Krishna away? You have to, you must bring Krishna back. You must, you must appeal to Narada Muni. So Satyabhama, she went and, appealed to Narada that please do something. Ask for something else. The queens, they were, beating me. They said you cannot take Krishna. So Narada Muni said, okay, you give me enough wealth that is equal to the weight of Krishna. You give me enough wealth that's equal to the Krishna's weight. So they said, okay. So all the Dwarka Vasis, all the inhabitants of Dwarka, so they put Krishna on a scale, and then on the other scale, they begin to pile up all the wealth of Dwarka, all the golds, everything, so many wealth of Dwarka. They were piling them up on the other scale. But the more they put, the more heavier Krishna becomes. I mean, what amount of wealth can equal the weight of Krishna? So the more they put, the more heavier Krishna becomes. So after some time, Dwarka became bankrupt. So everyone was wondering what to do. You know. So Rukmini said, okay, I know the secret here. She said, okay, remove all this wealth, remove all this gold and everything, remove everything. So they removed, and then she took a tulsi manjari, she took a tulsi leaf, and on that tulsi, she wrote Krishna on it. And then she put that on the scale. And as soon as she put on the scale, that became more heavier than Krishna. Became much more heavier. So Narada Muni became so happy. He said, now I got something that is much more than Krishna's weight. Krishna's name. So she took the love. So he took the tulsi, which has Krishna's name written on it, and then he was so happy, and then he went away. So Narada Muni is very, very dear to Krishna. Very, very dear to the Lord. And it's because of this that, Krishna decided that, yes, Devarṣi me priyatamo. Narada is very, very dear to me. It's even dear than my life. Dear than my life. So therefore, he has said something, I must go and fulfill it. So, and of course, Srila Prabhupada put wrote very interesting purport to this text of how a devotee is to be a devotee of a Vaishnava is much more highly recommended than to be Krishna's own devotee. Prabhupada was saying that Vaishnava Thakur Tumara Kuku Buleyat Jahar More Krishna se Tumara Krishna Dite Paro Tumara Sakariyache. So that if the Vaishnava is begging that, oh Vaishnava, let me become your dog. Vaishnava Tumara, let me be your dog. Because if we become a dog of a Vaishnava, that is actually our ticket to the kingdom of God, if you become a dog of a Vaishnava. Like here in Vrindavan, there are so many dogs in Vrindavan. So many stray dogs are there. When you do parikrama, you see them on parikrama, all the stray dogs. But a stray dog, they have no shelter. They are stray dogs. If they get food, they are lucky. Most of the time, they simply have to run and fighting with each other, all the time. You see them running, fighting each other all the time. But a stray dog, a pet dog, is totally different from a stray dog. A pet dog has got a master. A pet dog has got a master, and then a pet dog is always been taken care of by the master. So a pet dog does not have to worry about what food to eat, what shelter to have. Automatically has got a shelter, has got a food, a pet dog. So we are alone in this material world. We are alone in this material world. But only if you come with a bona fide Sadguru, a great Vaishnava, that's the only time that our life becomes meaningful. When we come under the shelter of elevated, Vaishnava, especially Srila Prabhupada. And no one can better describe the quality, the greatness of such Vaishnava in our time than Sutakiti Prabhu. Like every time you come to class, when Prabhu is giving class, the way he describes Prabhupada. that his mercy to the world, So we can actually see it like Sri Prabhu is someone who was actually taking himself to be the dog of Prabhupada, whereby showing us the example of how to be a dog of such a great personality. So Srila Prabhupada said again, so he said, as will be evident, the dog got the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and was immediately promoted to Vaikuntha to become an eternal devotee. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has therefore sung to Mita Thakura, Tomara Kukura, Boliya Jana More. He thus offers to become the dog of a Vaishnava. There are many other instances in which the pet animal of a Vaishnava was delivered back home to Vaikuntha Loka, back to Godhead. Such is the benefit of somehow or other becoming the favorite of a Vaishnava. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has also sung Kita Jama Hoy Yota Triyadas. There is no harm in taking birth again and again. Our only desire should be to take birth under the care of a Vaishnava. Fortunately, we had the opportunity to be born of a Vaishnava father who took care of us very nicely. He prayed to Srimati Radharani that in the future we will become a servant of the eternal consort of Sri Krishna. Thus, somehow or other, we are now engaged in that service. We may conclude that even as dogs, we must take shelter of a Vaishnava. The benefit will be the same as that which accrues to an advanced devotee under Vaishnava care. Just like this Maṇigrīva and Nalakūvara. So it's mentioned before in the previous text, in text number 5 of this same chapter. It was mentioned, Yarichaya Chadibashi, Bhagavans, Trata Kaurava, Apashan Narado Devo, Shibano Sama Budhyata. That by chance, Yadrichaya means by chance, by some auspicious opportunity for these two boys, so the great Saint Narada Muni, he appeared there, seeing them intoxicated. He could understand their situation. Normally, the great Vaishnavas, they are never really happy seeing the situation of the living entities in this material world, So therefore, their heart always bleeds when they see the suffering condition of the living entities. But under illusion, the living entity think that, oh, I'm okay, I'm fine, Just like if you ask anybody in the morning, how are you? Everybody will say that I am fine, I'm okay, But everybody is simply cheating themselves. How fine are you? You're in the lap of Maya. So the living entity, his heart bleeds, the great devotee, his heart bleeds when he sees the suffering living entity. So therefore, he devised all kinds of ways, all kinds of means just to deliver such living entities. Because Narada Muni saw these two persons, these two boys, who are the sons of such a great personality of ISKCON. He saw them, and they are thinking themselves, they are enjoying being under the influence of Maya. So therefore, in order to rectify that, Narada Muni, he caused them. But that cause, of course, is actually a benediction, because they've become, all their material illusion will finish, and then they've become dear devotee. Because by being trees in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj, so they are able to see Krishna's pastimes. From the time Krishna appeared, they saw Krishna's pastime. They are able to witness that. Now, another benediction that Narada gave them was that even though they are in that body of a trace, they will not be forgetful. They will not be forgetful. Because usually when one takes another form, one becomes forgetful of one's previous existence, you know. But Nārada said that these two boys, they're going to become three, but their conscience will remain intact. Their consciousness will remain intact. They will not be forgetful of their situation. So in this way, they will be able to know that, because by not being forgetful of their situation, they'll be able to understand the cause of their punishment. They'll be able to understand that. So Nārada Muni, he also gave them that benediction that yes, you will not be forgetful. And then when you come face to face with Vāsudeva, with Krishna, you will immediately remember your previous situation, and now you've got that great fortune of coming face to face, with a Vaishnava. To come face to face with the Lord. And that coming face to face with the Lord is only made possible only by the mercy of a devotee. So therefore, as I said, that we are made up only of the mercy of a devotee. Just like when Srila Prabhupada arrived in New York, he composed that wonderful prayer, Bolo Krishna, Kole Krishna, Adame Prati, Kilagiye. It's very nice song which Srila Prabhupada composed when he arrived in New York, whereby he's saying that, my dear brothers, that the Lord Krishna, Prabhupada was praying to Lord Krishna that, oh my dear Lord, I do not know why you have brought me to this terrible place, which is saturated with the mode of ignorance. People are simply thinking, they think themselves, they're enjoying, but somehow, I'm sure you have a business, and that's why you have brought me here. So therefore, make me your instrument. Make me your instrument. Very nice prayer that Srila Prabhupada composed when he arrived in. After I think he wrote that prayer when he's on the Jaladuta. I think that's when he wrote that prayer. Bolo Krishna, is that when Prabhupada wrote that prayer? Bolo Krishna, Kole Krishna. It was on the Jaladuta or after he got out? Is it? Okay. Anyway, sorry for my accent. I don't know if I'm understood or not. I don't know. So anyway, this is his compassion of how the living entities, how they can be delivered. And the Lord, he always does the binding of his pure devotees. If his pure devotee desires something, the Lord will take it. So and that's the reason why Krishna told Arjuna that declare boldly that my devotee never perish, because Arjuna is the Lord's dear devotee. If Arjuna make a promise, so Lord Krishna will fulfill that promise, whereas his own promise may be broken, but the promise of his devotee will never be broken. So similarly also, if it's a desire of a pure devotee that we become devotee of Krishna, so Krishna will fulfill that desire. So therefore, let us pray that we become a pet dog of a devotee, of a Vaishnava, devotee of Krishna. So thank you very much for listening. I'm stopping here. If there's any question or comments, you probably like to say something about being a dog of a Vaishnava. I mean, you have the most wonderful experience. Tell us something about Prabhupada, his merciful nature, Prabhupada's mercy upon us. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the purport here. Even able to even barely the curse. I always mention saying different things to me, but everything they do is always a blessing. It's always for your benefit.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. Any question or comments? Nobody? No question or comment? Okay, thank you very much for tolerating my speech. So, Granth Rasam Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.